below in the Abomination Vaults, you have just had a very strange, almost transcendental experience in that dreamy, strange cavern that's filled with bioluminescent fungi and this strange gug creature that had been in a very weird state, um, and was very protective of a particular kind of lens, like a large glass object, clearly crafted into a specific lens-like shape, and it has this swirling red mist inside that almost looks like blood that swirls around inside the glass. And for now, you've decided to take it with you, but I think you pretty much immediately stuffed it into. Oh no, you couldn't because it is too big, I think. You weren't able to stuff it into the sleeves of storage, is that right?
I think we could stuff that, but we have to take the book out.
No, the sleeves of storage can hold up to 5 bulks of items, but no individual item can be more than 1 bulk.
Oh,
And
okay.
the lens and the lens is bulk 2, I believe. So I think Karna said that Soma was wrapping everything around it.
I think the book was too bulk and the lens was a light bulk, no?
We're not getting you, Karnas.
Yeah.
I mean, the book was too bulk and the lens was light bulk.
I don't think so. I have
That's what I remember too, but
I don't think so. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure that the item is bulk 2.
If it is bulk 2, Ottardo can add that to his pack somehow and still not be encumbered.
nice.
Okay, so I'm seeing some conflicting information here because on the sheet it says bulk 2, but when I look up the item separately, it says bulk 1. So let me look at the physical book.
Do you have the convicted version or the three?
I do have the individual book, so that might also be different. You're right.
Yeah.
So if you want a little, or well, you don't know what the item's called, so let me check it here first. Okay, so this version says bulk 1. And the Archive of Nethys. Agree. Yeah. So it is. Oh, interesting. So okay, I think I understand where that comes from now. Okay, so it is bulk 1. I think I have to remove this from your sheet then and give you the one that has the proper stats. Okay. Yes. All right, so Soma, you currently have it in your inventory. It is bulk 1, so you could put it into the sleeves of store. Oh, you already have it in there. Weird. I don't understand how this ended up there, but it works. Okay, so you took that item and you quickly dumped it into the sleeves of storage, thinking that it must have some sort of significance because those strange whispers that Soma heard while she was in that cave and opened her mind to them somewhat, which left her stupefied, but gave her some what she would consider insights. Maybe they are mad ramblings. It's hard to tell. But there's some significance to this item, that's for sure. But what it is, you don't yet really know. For now, you retreated to the southern part of this cave, where you're free from the influence of those whispers, and you've collected yourself. You're gathering strength to figure out what comes next. Why is your token looking weird, Sandy Ravage?
I don't know. I think it's because I uploaded it myself, maybe, and I put it in the wrong file, probably folder.
Let me see where we have it. If I put that up here. Strange. It was working last time.
Yeah.
Appearance. Yeah, for some reason. Let's see. That is. There we go.
Nice.
All right. So, what do you do?
We going back to the cavern to learn more secrets of the universe. I just feel like maybe we should open up that lens in there. Maybe it's like they have radio antenna in this world. I'm gonna assume it's like a radio antenna where we hone in on the signal.
Well, I don't know anything about any lenses, but previous characters knew about them.
That sounds like more whispers. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
What skill would it be to investigate the lens?
Occult.
Well, if we can't figure out what this thing is, maybe we can bring it back to Rin.
Oh, are you talking about Rin of Rin's Wonders?
Yes.
She seems like a nice lady.
She
Maybe
is.
we could. Maybe, yeah. She's into all sorts of wonders, as she puts it. But are we really ready to go back? Or, I mean, look. He just points out in the direction of the water and whatever else is going on over there.
Well, are you prepared to swim?
Oh, see, I actually did prepare for this today, so I don't have to swim. Can't say the same for the rest of you, but
I could do with a small swim. I'm fine with it.
All right. Well, let's just take 10 minutes to catch our breath and then let's get wet again. Ruin our nice armor.
All right. You look out over that lake. The thick fog is hanging low. You're up on that cliff here, so you can kind of look over it. You see that it's quite large and extending far into the distance as far as you can see with the light sources that you have. You remember the like cloying sensation of swimming through it. You're definitely not looking forward to it, but you take your 10-minute rest and you remain undisturbed.
Okay. Well, Ottardo puts away his shield and weapon and jumps in, feet first.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, okay, never mind.
Splash.
You need to sweat.
No, I could have helped make it a little bit easier for all of us, but
I think someone would appreciate it.
Do you need athletics checks, Simon?
Hang on. What is the Juggernaut effect?
It's the thing that upgrades successes to crit successes. I think all classes have something that upgrades 1 or 2 saves.
Oh, so Ottardo and Sandy just happen to have that ability both.
Yeah, I think all physical classes are gonna get that for fortitude. I assume casters will
okay.
have it for will and rogues for reflex, things like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. I had just not seen it before coming into effect. All right.
That's
so
what they called
it.
me in high school. Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. When Sandy peaked, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
damn.
It's the 9th level since high school. All right, so you jump into the water. You're waiting for your friends to come into. Athletics checks aren't really needed unless you're challenged, because it's calm waters. They're more mentally off-putting than physically challenging.
I'm going to cast this on myself before climbing down. So as Bark
Very
scrambles down the
cool.
slope, before actually stepping on the water, like lily pads are going to come sprouting up under his feet so that he can walk across the water.
Wow.
And he does leave a trail of lily pads that lasts until the end of his next turn.
Okay.
Amazing.
That is amazing. I'll say, yeah, lily pads, lotus leaves, sure, those do sprout and carry your weight, but they all have like an oily sheen to them. And as you walk past them, like as your paws leave the leaves, they immediately start to wither and oddly, melt away almost in a very strange, accelerated decomposure sort of thing. It's very unsettling to watch, but it does have the effect that the spell normally has. I just hit pause because I wanted to make sure that we understand what you're getting yourselves into here. So, at the water level, you're in the fog. You're making your way forward, swimming or walking over the water. Soma, I'll assume you're swimming too. Is that what you're doing?
I was going to jump on the bridge.
What?
Gonna jump on the bridge.
You want to jump over onto the dock? Okay, so but you're higher up, so that's you're pretty far and a significant drop.
Well, there is space for running start.
Sure, yeah, you can do it. So that would be, I believe, in athletics. Is it, or is that an acrobatics? No, long jump. You stride and then attempt a DC 15 to make a long jump. You leap to a distance equal to your check result, rounded down to the nearest 5 feet. So you want to hit 15. Yep, that's right. Okay, so you make that check easily. And now, when it comes to landing, I'll bet that's going to be acrobatics then, because you're basically trying to avoid falling. And when you fall more than 5 feet, you take falling damage when you land. You try the difficult one. No, so... Is there no more? I haven't done falling or looked at falling in a long time, but is there no more ways to like avoid falling damage from falling that's not grabbing an edge?
Let's see, my
All right.
someone has catfall.
Yeah, it does do. Oh, you have catfall. You can't allow you to cushion your fall. Treat falls as 10 feet shorter. If you're an expert in acrobatics, treat falls as 25 feet shorter. Are you an expert? No, you're trained. Okay, but that's fine. Then because that will leave 5 feet of falling or something, and I'm sure that's gonna be okay. So then just give me a reflex save so we can figure out if you actually arrest your fall on the dog or if you kind of like roll off, and so it's basically a grab an edge. Oh, sorry. Grab an edge reaction to make sure that you don't roll over the dog into the water. Yes, so you make that as well. So you hang on to one of those poles and you land. Okay, so you're in the fog too, being at the water level more or less. And as you keep moving forward, at least Ottardo and Bark and Sandy, those cages kind of emerge from the fog, and inside over here there's this monstrous shape in there. I think I showed it to you last time.
Yeah.
A strange lizard-like being with a large neck shield, giant teeth, and it's like aggressively slamming against the wooden bars that look like they just barely contain the creature. But you can also tell that it's quite famished, quite weak in its current state. And the other cage over here appears to be empty.
Is this high up? Do we need to climb onto shore?
No, this is more of a beach essentially. And if you're moving up there, Bark, you notice another creature. Hang on, that emerges from the fog, which is another one of those. Wait, why can you still move? You shouldn't be able to move. I think I just. So there's another one of those lobster-like creatures over here in one of those cages.
Ugh.
And as you move past, why are you? Oh, because you're set to follow, I guess. Yeah. And as you move past it, it calls out to you with like a gurgling voice in a language no one understands anymore.
Yeah, I
But
don't know
it-
what he's saying. But
it with its lobster claws around the bars, it like calls out to oh.
yeah, gloob gloob to you too.
So you just ignore it, or no, you don't ignore it. You don't try to find a way to communicate.
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right. Yeah. So you see, as you move through the fog, there's another cage over here. That there's a hulking shape in there that is still concealed in the fog, and there is a pillar, like a natural pillar that rises 30 feet above the water. That's over here. You can kind of make out that there's another cage up there, but it looks like it's made of metal instead of just the makeshift cages that you find along the beach. But it's hard to tell, given that it's so far away and through the thick fog. Down here at the beach, yeah, so you see a total of 7 of these cages, mostly made of this strange fibrous wood, and each one of them partially submerged in the stinking waters. And yeah, and everything is the fog is just roiling over the beach as well, clinging to your armor, making your exposed skin feel oily and damp.
Can I make out anyone on the pier there? Is that visible?
It's still in the fog since you're at the water level. You try to move closer. Are you trying to sneak across those lily pads, or are you just kind of normally striding?
Um,
You're just going for it, Ottardo.
I think he's just going. He's not a very sneaky guy.
Okay. So as you round that cage over there, you come into view of this hulking shape that's in there. It is a weird looking thing. It's a huge giant creature made from bones held together by what can only be necromancy. Um, Multiple skeletons tied together. You see bones from creatures that definitely are cobbled together. And it's just locked in there and it's raging. It's like smashing against the bars as you come closer. And once again, the cage just barely contains these creatures. You can see some of the knots are starting to come loose. Some of the bars are already splintering. Yeah. Also, through the fog ahead, you hear hammering sounds. Like actual hammers on wood, like somebody's working on some sort of project.
Those gnomes. I wouldn't know about those gnomes, but previous characters did.
Let's stay away from these cages, maybe.
Okay,
Get
yeah, and
to land.
as you close in further, now you're roughly like 25 feet away. You can see shapes move in the fog, small-ish shapes, humanoid. You can see the shapes of boats, of little skiffs that are moored to the docks, and you see several of those small humanoid shapes milling around, hammering away at one of those skiffs.
Can I climb up here? Because the spell does only last for a minute, so I should probably get off
Oh,
the
okay.
water.
So you were kind of like hustling over. But yeah,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Ugh.
Okay.
Does the metal platform look in that bad shape, or is that just the graphics?
Yeah, so there's this iron platform here, and at each corner there's an iron chain that climbs upward into darkness. I believe that Augrel left this kind of feud, if I remember correctly, where one side of it had already started to get pulled up and then screeched
Yeah.
to a halt. So it's kind of yeah, it's just weirdly angled right there. You can see that there is a large pulley device, crusted with rust, but maybe still serviceable. So maybe you could eventually make this work, but it does look in pretty rough shape.
And the hammering is still going on, right?
Yeah, they're still busy up there, unless you're making a particular ruckus
how-
here.
How far away, roughly? Can
At the
we?
end of the docks, like where those skiffs are.
Okay, just there. Wow.
Ahead.
And the fog is thick enough for us not to be able to see what's going on.
You just see these small humanoid shapes in the fog. They're all concealed effectively. And since they're busy hammering away at their project, they may not have noticed you yet. Unless
Should
you're
we
trying
go
to be
talk to
noticed.
them?
What's that?
Should we go talk to them?
Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
they'll be more friendly than the weirdos to the south.
Sure, they want to attack. And Sandy pulls out his maul.
Ugh.
Just in case. Just in case.
Ottardo will approach.
Okay. So you step closer, and the half-rotten boards of the rundown dock creak under the weight of you and your armor, and you gain their attention.
Okay, I just gotta say this before. So if you I was clicking, like I was following Ottardo, but I clicked on myself while pressing F. And if you click on yourself, it says following myself. Belief in oneself is important! Exclamation point. What a great module.
That's very cool. So Ottardo, I'll let you use diplomacy for your initiative if you want to, because as you like make your way over the creaking boards and you call out to them, they all stop what they're doing, and you're getting close enough to be able to properly see them. Hang on here, trying to get them all into view. And they look up from what they're doing, turn around, and all of their faces are just these desiccated husks of what may have once been a gnome-like creature, empty-looking eye sockets, rotten teeth in their mouths that are, just slack-jawed. And as they turn around, you notice like these creatures are, maybe they're not mindless, but there's not a whole lot of parley that you would expect to have with them. But maybe it'll buy you some time. So like I said, I'll let you use diplomacy for your initiative.
Okay. Did Augrel describe them as gnome-like?
Yeah, creepy gnomes.
Okay. Well, he'll hail them in gnomish.
All right, so we'll use that. And the others can use stealth if they were stealthing, or perception if they want to go with their regular perception.
Okay. I'm reloading, but I'll get that in there.
Okay. So it looks like Birke, you probably notice that this is not going to end well. You notice, especially as your turn starts, you notice this sensation. I think you've experienced it before, where it feels like your lungs are starting to fill with water. And it kind of creeps up the back of your throat. Give me that fortitude save as you start your turn.
Uh-oh.
And you can't speak. It like really makes you basically unable to breathe. So you can hold your breath for now. But yeah, you can't speak.
Well, that's bad for a spellcaster.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does casting a spell inherently have the auditory or the linguistic?
It doesn't have auditory, but there's a rule that says that you have to be able to speak. Because basically spells that have auditory are those that rely on the target being able to hear.
Well, that is going to be a problem. Can't cast a spell, huh? I might just delay then for the moment while I figure out what to do.
Okay. And then it's Soma's turn.
Is that some sort of condition that I can see?
And Soma, you are just outside. Nope, you are within one of the auras as well. So I'm going to need you to make that fortitude save as well. Alright, you succeed. You are now temporarily immune to this. So if I prompt you again, you can ignore it.
I mean, is there some sort of effect I can see, Mark?
I cannot hear you. You might see Bart gasping for air, I guess. And you notice the sensation in your own throat, so... but you fail casting the Inspired Defense, so no, your head hurts too much. Two actions left.
I'll try again.
Try again. Oh, great. Second time you succeed. You manage to rally your allies. What's the third action? Shield. Alright. But you failed. Oh, man. Badly distracted by what's going on around you. Okay, so the first gnome up there, it drops the tool it was using, and then it starts shambling towards you, Ottardo, clearly uninterested in any sort of parley, and it just makes well, you were speaking gnomish, you said, but it is speaking some other language, as it just mumbles something in that language that you don't understand, but it seems to be repeating it over and over again as it moves forward, and comes into range here, and is going to try to just strike you with its bare fist. Missing once, missing twice. Another one of these mummies. Come here. All right. This one's kind of falling into or dropping off the dock into the skiff that is moored here, and then steps even further, just dropping into the lake, and it just sinks down like a stone. And you can see movement in the thick water. You can see this sort of little wave that ripples through it, and then it pulls itself up again onto the dock over here, and that would be 2 actions for it to make it all the way over there, and it attacks Souma in the back, critically missing. Sandy.
All right, Sandy is going to see these little gnomes. I've always hated gnomes. And he's going to rage and swing at this one behind him with his maul. Oops, let
That's
me
a hit.
actually rage first. Actual rage games. Okay, now I'll do damage. I need to fix. Well, how do I do that?
What's
Can I
that?
swing on it again and get a hit so I can get because I wanted to automate the rage damage if I can.
It just rolled the damage. I think you
Okay,
deal
okay. Oh yeah, it'll work. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
32 points of damage. Okay.
Right, then I will swing one more time.
Yeah, and it's a brutal swing full of the momentum of your range, but these creatures, as brittle as they may seem, are actually quite hardy. But let's see if it can resist that critical that's about to come down. Hit it like a freight train.
Oh, okay. Not as great critical, but that's okay.
That is indeed not as great, but we have a couple of effects riding on that as well. So 40 points of damage, which makes it... Oh, it needs to save. Okay, it succeeds at the save, but it doesn't go prone. Yeah, but you almost smash the thing into dust. And, I'm sorry, I did forget to prompt you for...
I was going to say, I just remember that too, yeah.
Yeah, that
I
just
think
wouldn't affect.
hopefully I should pass.
Yeah, and it wouldn't affect your rolls. It's just about
Okay.
holding.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you succeeded that. Ottardo, you tried.
Can I jump in with my delayed
Yes.
turn? Yeah, I will take my staff and try to smack that thing that's next to me.
All right. Smack it.
I don't know why
That's
it's
a
in
hit.
the target. 6 more points of damage.
6 more points of damage is not enough to bring it down.
All right, I'll try to hit it again.
And it is a hit.
Another 7.
Why
then
does
I
it
will
count as flanked right now? Is it because
I
of
think
your...
I think maybe stick is in the square.
Oh, stick is in the way.
So I get then it was a miss because you only hit because
Okay,
of
then
the...
yeah.
Okay.
In that case, I'll just raise my shield at the end.
Okay. Now it's Ottardo's turn.
All right. Ottardo is going to start by trying to trip the creature that's in front of him. Where's that?
That is a critical success, so it lands prone and takes 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Bam.
And he'll follow up with a hit,
Striking it for 9 more points.
and he'll finish up by raising his shield.
Okay. Okay. So this one over here also drops down onto the skiff and with remarkable balance makes its way over the boat only to then also drop into the fetid lake and pull itself up onto the docks over here, using 2 of its actions to get all the way there, and then with its 3rd action it's going to attack. Oh, and Ottardo, I also forgot to prompt you for this, so just roll the... Okay. And it misses Souma. Alright, now for the last one, it just drops into
Would that trigger my reactive strike? Because it got up and moved to the...
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, there we go. I got it. Right, I will swing on that one. Okay.
Alright, the other one of these gnomish creatures also drops into the lake and walks along the bottom all the way to the beach. So that's 2 actions. And then with its 3rd action, it walks all the way to the back of the cave.
Oh, I don't like that. Where's it going? Going backstage to get more wrestlers.
Getting fully changed. So now it's Souma.
Okay.
Souma? Okay. Well, how do you want to keep it from doing that?
I like that idea.
Ugh. Super
Your
five,
head.
rough.
Yep. Those whispers still ruminating in your head, just hard to focus. Let's see if the magic missile at least comes through. It does. So I assume that's a 2 action.
Alright. I forgot.
Alright, and like I said last time, give me a chance to apply the damage before you cast the next one. Because there you go. Okay. Okay. How many are we expecting here? Is it 6? Okay, thank you. All right, so you turn around, trying to inspire or rally your friends, but it's just, again, those whispers just take away your focus. But at least you managed to get out a force barrage, trying to stop that gnome from getting to the back of the cave, whatever it is up to over there. All right, the one that's right in front of you, Ottardo, is getting up as its first action. And let's see. How smart are they? Not super smart, but also not super dumb. So I think it's not too far of a stretch to say that it would understand that in your heavy armor, you'd be at a disadvantage to be in the water. So it's going to try to shove you into the water.
Okay.
27?
That's I think it's against fortitude, right?
And an athletic check against your target's 42 TC, yes.
That is a success.
Alright, so it pushes you into the water, splash. And I think Sandy, you were still following. There we go.
There we go.
And actually, sorry, I'm just gonna do this real quick. I think I can follow me. Stop following in combat. It should actually stop doing that. Well,
Oh, nice. Okay.
well, it was already active, so I don't know why it didn't do it. Anyway, so it successfully shoves you into the water, and then with its third action, it steps forward. Okay, the other gnome thing over here. Yeah, I think it's gonna jump into the water as well. Sandy, you haven't gotten your reactions back, so
Yeah.
you can take that strike. And it's gonna try, Ottardo, to grapple you, to try to avoid, to keep you underwater. So, trying to get this right here. This is a grapple action. So it attempts an athletics check. Fails by 2. Okay. Then it could try again, but at the penalty.
Yep.
Oh, that's its last action. And it fails again. Alright. So you're kind of like sinking into the lake, struggling to get back to the surface. Then the thick, oily waters, you see this, mummified gnome thing coming towards you, just flailing and trying to keep you down, but failing to get a hold of you. Sandy, your turn.
Is it more than 5 feet down from the dock?
I mean, it's in the water. It's out of reach for you, effectively.
Okay. Yeah, okay. He's pissed at that, but he's not going to go jumping in that murky water, so he'll just, which one does he want to swing at? I think he'd want to protect the other two, so he'll swing at this one that's next to it. That would be his instinct, at least, to try and protect. And he'll swing.
That is a hit.
Right. He'll swing one more time with the map.
Yeah, brutal hit. And another 26 points of damage. You brutalize that thing, but its dead flesh or dead seeming flesh can take it. Is that action?
I think he's just gonna swing again. He's raging. He wants to kill this thing. I think
That
he's
makes
gonna
sense
do
to me.
it. Yep.
and it's a miss, but not by a whole lot.
Yeah.
Bark, I'm gonna need you to do the save again to struggle with the that sensation of being underwater. All right,
Nice.
you cough it up, and weirdly you're coughing up this like thick, almost mucus-like swamp water, but you clear your throat and you have your breath back.
He's just like me, for real. Yeah, he's like, well, please, well, you like to try to make an old pup choke on his own bile. Well, I'll make you choke on yours. And he's gonna throw down a stinking cloud. I don't know how much it will affect this creature, but I'm gonna drop it right here.
Nice.
So I think
Oh, and it's even got
Souma
the nice little
yeah.
graphic.
Souma should be excluded. Just outside
Because you can
the
tape it that way? Is that how it works?
I was just looking at what it actually is showing as like marked and what's not.
Oh, okay. Alright, so the thing needs to save. And crit
Oh.
fail.
It's
but
sickened 2 and slowed 1 until it leaves the cloud.
oh, hang on. But it is a poison effect, so it is immune to that.
Ah, bugger. The concealed is not a poison effect, though. So
That's right.
it says it in the. I don't know what that means, but it says that in the spell. So
That means that it is concealed from you in the cloud.
am I concealed from it?
Yes,
Is it
you're
in the cloud?
mutually concealed at this point, I would
Okay,
say.
all right. And whatever thing is in the cage, hopefully, will have to deal with it too.
Ah, okay. Yeah, good thinking. Third action?
We will just raise that shield again.
Okay. Ottardo.
I believe Ottardo will have to sheath his weapon to be able to climb onto the ledge.
Well, you're down in the water. The thing is between you and the surface. So the first thing you would have to do is try to swim past it in this thick water.
Okay.
So that would be an athletics check, I would say, to get to the surface. Which of course you manage handily. You just kind of like push yourself off the bottom of the lake, and you feel something brushing against your shoulder, which may have been the creature. But you just knock it out of the way, and you come to the surface for air. Nonetheless, a lot of that fetid lake water makes it down your nose and throat, so I'm gonna need a fortitude save here. But you just spit it all out. You're at the surface. You can pull yourself up as another move action, or as another action.
Okay.
There you are, and you have one action left.
Okay, so he didn't need to like stow away something to be able to grab the ledge.
You have your shield and your weapon. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that you would have to stow one of those things.
Okay. So then he
that's
is
okay.
up. He has his shield out, and that's it.
Okay. All right. Which one is it? I would really like a turn marker. Here we go. Okay. The thing next to Bark, Sandy is attacking it, so I think it's going to try to shove Sandy, so that you fall into the lake.
Don't forget, it's
Ooh.
concealed.
Well, so he's in the. I guess yeah, because it's still within the cloud, so everyone outside the cloud would still be concealed. Does it say?
Yeah,
Mist.
it says because it's the same effects of mist, which says all creatures outside the mist.
Oh, yeah,
concealed
yeah.
creatures.
Got it. Okay, yes. So first one's a miss anyway. Second one, same thing. Third one is probably pointless. Yeah, that's just a 12, so never mind. Okay, so yeah, I guess Sandy The thing is concealed in that stinking cloud in front of you, but you can kind of see it struggle.
You think we
to-
didn't have smoke machines in our entrance music? Get out of here.
Excellent. Right, so that's that, and then down here, 2, 3. Okay. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. Which one is that? No. Give me another moment while I'm figuring this out.
Yeah, I'll say like, I will say this. I took a huge scent because I was like, he could probably smell all the wrestlers through all the like fireworks and smoke. So Sandy definitely thinks himself, able to fight through concealment. We'll see how long that holds out in the actual story, but
Okay. You see inside that stinking cloud, you see shapes moving, and then one of those shapes kind of like stumbles out of the cloud in a somewhat disoriented fashion, and it looks like the others mostly, but not quite. It's also dressed in rags. Its flesh looks just as dried out and long dead as the others. But as it moves around, you see these like swirls of magic energy surrounding it. But that's its turn. Soma. All right, you draw a sword. You don't draw a sword. All right, you finally managed to rally your allies. Action 2 and 3.
Paladin Lash.
Yeah, I don't know. You would have to move to be able to do that because are concealed. Does that affect targeting with a spell?
I think it's still just the roll.
When
That's how we've been
targeting
doing it before.
a creature that you concealed from must succeed at a DC 5 flat check when targeting with a text spell or other effect. Yeah, so you gotta go with the flat check because you have the cloud between you. So I would say that you're still somewhat concealed from each other. Or you would move and then you would have no concealment.
Oh yeah.
Lots of things. Okay,
Oh,
man, that is really hurting.
is brutal.
Yep. All right, but that's your turn, and let's see, who is this? This is up here. Okay, so Sandy Ravage behind you. One of those creatures tries to use your distraction to its advantage, but fails miserably.
Hey, it's all right.
Then we have the one that's in the water. You see, if anyone had the time to check, maybe Ottardo, you look back down just to make sure that the thing isn't following you up onto the dock. and you see a tiny little. First, you see like the water being very kind of splashing all over the place, and then you see a little wave looking like the creature's moving away from you, and shortly after it climbs up onto this skiff here and walks out over onto the dock and a little further, and then goes into this skiff, and it looks like it's ready to kind of push itself off.
Oh boy.
Sandy, your turn.
All right, Sandy doesn't like that, but he has more important things to deal, or more near things to deal with, I guess. So he's gonna swing at the guy that is to the left of him, that's badly injured first. Where's my actions? There we go.
That's a hit.
Okay.
Wait, sorry, that is concealed from you, so you do.
Oh,
need
yep.
to
Flat
do-
check.
Yeah, let me put the condition on it. Where is it? Here we go, and then I can prompt you with the check. There it is.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so you can roll for damage.
Okay. Sorry, that it's up there. Yeah, 25.
Oh, that is the damage, right? Okay, yeah, you almost knock it out.
I'll swing again. I'll roll the flat check first. Ah,
Second one misses. Okay,
Alright.
third.
I do. But let's see if I can get past the flat check again. Okay. And then, do I do? So I still do the third map, right? Because
Yes.
okay, because I
It
technically
does count as
Yeah.
having taken that action, yeah.
Yeah.
And you could miss by just a little bit, but you miss. All right, so which one is this? Okay. One, two, three, four. Okay, it'll roll a flat check. Succeeded. And Soma, if you look over into that stinking cloud, there's another shape that comes into view. Judging by the size, it's another one of those things. And then a fist comes. Well, yeah, the fist comes slashing out of that stinking cloud, but you easily dodge it. And then it's Bark's turn.
Is there any way I can dispel the stinking cloud, because it's apparently not helping us at all?
Is it? How does dismissing work? The
I
duration
don't
is
know.
one.
Yeah, the
It has
duration-
to say that you can dismiss it.
Oh, okay. Let me double check. It functions as mist. It does say you can dismiss.
Yes.
You can dismiss
So
mist.
in that case, dismissing is a single action, so you can do that.
Cost an action. Okay. Yeah, I'll dismiss it because they're all immune to the poison anyway, and it's just making this miss. So.
All right, and that brings them back into view. Full view.
I will use my remaining 2 actions to try a different approach. The one in the boat, there are going to be some vines that go snaking all the way out to it.
Ooh.
Murderous vine.
Ooh, murderous even.
Murderous.
Okay. So, one creature adjacent to a flat surface. You summon a slithering, thorny vine that attempts to constrict and crush a foe against the wall or other surface. Make a spell attack roll against the target's 42 DC. Okay, so let's see that one.
Oh, I make an attack roll. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, baby.
Absolutely.
yeah.
That is compared to
Oh,
its
it's,
fortitude DC, not its AC. So
Yeah, but it
know.
is an attack, so we'll see what happens. On a success, the creature is grabbed and takes 3d6 bludgeoning and 2d8 piercing. At the end of that creature's turn, if it's still grabbed, it takes 2d6 bludgeoning. Escape DC, Vine's AC. You can dismiss the spell. Okay, let's roll the damage.
Total of 12, apparently. Not amazing.
Rough rolls, rough rolls.
Yeah, those are
Okay.
bad.
Not to
But
get confused with rough rolls.
But it is this is the regular damage, right? So
That's the regular damage.
It is an attack roll, so it should be able to crit. So I'm gonna take double that. So basically, what happens?
Amazing.
Vines sprout from the dog, from those from the posts, and lash out, like quickly growing over the skiff, pulling the skiff back even maybe a little bit as he was already trying to push out, and finally make it to the creature itself, who's like looking down with his empty eye sockets, and quickly surround him and just pull him back, smash him against the those posts, and you just hear like cracking sound as bones poke through the leathery skin, and then he just hangs there limply. Badass.
Very badass.
That was your
And
turn.
Bark just says, "Stay."
All right, Ottardo.
Alright, Ottardo is going to spend one action to draw his flick mace, and then he's going to use his defensive advance to sprite forward and attempt to strike, let's say, the new ranger creature.
Nice.
And that's his turn.
Okay, so that was sorry. Which? Oh, but you're using your reach to attack this one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You slam your flick mace against it. Ironically, the gnome weapon strikes for 11 points of damage, doing very little damage to it. All right, so then we have some going on here. 4, 1, 2, 4, and 2. So it moves here, but that ends its turn. Which one is this? Okay. The one over here is going to try to shove Sandy again, I think. So, targeting Sandy, trying in athletics. That must be enough. Oh, wait.
I assume it is. Oh.
I was using Sandy. No, hang on.
It's like, oh god.
Shoving yourself. No, okay, so it fails the first time.
Only I can shove me.
Oh, critically. You lose the balance, fall and land prone. And yeah, then it uses its third action to get up, which triggers a reactive strike.
All right. Come on, hit on one of these.
Crit.
Okay, nice.
Roll. Ooh,
Oh my
that
god.
is brutal. Yeah, you give that creature a true death.
He did not like being shoved. He came back with
Yeah.
all of his gusto.
Clearly. Okay, so hang on. Where am I? Here. Okay. So first things first. In that cage over here, that weird skeletal hulking creature is getting more and more agitated, and it just bashes against its cage. Hang on. Okay. Can I highlight it and roll this? But for now, the cage holds. Oh, but I do get multiple actions, so select it and roll again. So it just keeps bashing against it, but the cage is surprisingly solid. All right, but that weird-looking gnome down there is gonna take its turn, so it's gonna stay where it is under that metal mechanism, and Let me check its. Doesn't have any specific tactics, so then what can we do here? Okay, Ottardo. The creature, like from behind its ally, its empty-looking eye sockets focus on you, and you catch its lidless gaze, and need to roll this fortitude save.
Okay.
Which you narrowly succeed at, but nonetheless, you are blinded for until your next turn begins. So that was 2 actions for it. Let me see if it has a third one. Can you use an efficient way? I think it'll just move over here. And then it's Soma's turn. So you're trying to make the composition lingering, but you
God.
continue to be distracted by those whispers. How many actions is that? Still just 1 action. What do you do with action 2 and 3? Alright, and 3rd action. Trying to strike that gnome, clearly fed up with how things are going here, but it's a miss. Instead, it's the one up here whose turn comes up, and it's going to try to punch Sandy Ravage. Ooh, crit missing. Oh, they're so bad. And then it's Sandy's turn.
All right. He killed that one. He's gonna turn his attention to the one that is, relative north above him, and gonna start swinging on him.
Uh-oh. Ruh-roh.
What is happening? There we go.
Okay, that's bad.
That's not good. I'm gonna use my hero point to reroll that.
Okay.
Getting a little risky with them.
Oh,
Okay.
what a wing. Okay, here we go. Very heroic. 52 points of damage. Almost knocked the lights out, but not quite.
All right, he'll do a second one. Map.
That's a hit. And with that, overhead smash. You break a couple of the boards of the dock, and you break the entire back of this creature. And it just kind of like falls into the cracks, just lying there, splayed, clearly dead or destroyed. 3rd action.
And third action. After he goes, oh yeah, like the Korean man, he will go over here behind to plank with Ottardo.
All right. Tag teaming. And then it's the one that is wedged between the two of you, which is aware enough of its surroundings to not like being here. So it's gonna step over here. And
Does that provoke?
no, because it's a step, so it doesn't provoke.
Right, okay.
Then it attacks. Trying to punch you once. Ooh, and actually hitting. So that
Okay,
is
okay.
14 points of damage. And this
What'd you
fortune save.
say? Okay. We apply the damage first. There we go.
Oh wow, you're resistant to all damage from undead. 6. And then crit succeed on your fortitude. Wow, you
Oh yeah,
really,
because of my
really-
spirit. My spirit thing, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay, that was its second. No, yeah, that's, I believe it, right? We
And you
had.
said your prior job was lumberjack?
I have the spirits of my ancestors constantly over my shoulder telling me I did things wrong.
Bark, your turn.
And that somehow
Um,
translates to undead resistance.
Bark is gonna just stride over here, and Stick will follow, and it's time to summon a tree. You know, timber.
We're yelling timber.
I'm something of a lumberjack myself.
Alright, first one crit succeeds. Second one crit fails.
Hell yeah.
So the first one takes no damage, but the second one takes double damage.
32.
And yes, badly hit by that. The critically fails to save is knocked for a loop, making it dazzled until the end of its next turn.
Nice.
I believe that's your turn, Ottardo.
Does I guess Ottardo does regain his sight now?
Yes, correct.
And okay, he realizes what's happening. What's with the blue status effect on?
Dazzled.
Oh, that's dazzling. Okay, sorry. Well, he is going to target the creature closest to him.
Ouch.
Ouch, indeed. Was that regular damage? 2d6 plus 6?
Oh, right. You're right. Yeah, you can.
Okay, so it
Up
takes
that.
double of that.
And
the
then he's
second
going
one?
to miss with the second, and I think he does want to raise his shield.
Okay. Alright, the creature in front of you, Bark and Ottardo. What's it gonna do? I think it's gonna try to attack Bark because he seems to be the softer target here. So it tries to strike you once, missing, twice, missing, and then it's gonna move under that mechanism here to have its back up against the wall. The other creature. Oh wow, okay, that has been a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. So it was 2 actions, and with its third action, it attacks Sandy Ravage,
Yeah,
and that's a hit
gets me,
for
okay.
13 points of damage, and I
Okay.
need that fortitude save.
Oh, Ottardo is going to intervene here to use his
Oh, nice.
reaction. So that's 11 points of resistance.
Okay, so 0.
And at the same time,
All right, you get to step.
is that no? That's 15 feet. Yeah, he does have to step. Does have to step. So he will take 1 step here, and he will swing at the creature.
Okay. Hitting and doing 15 points of damage. Okay. It's the end of that turn. Over in the cage, that thing continues to rage. Once. Yeah. Twice. 3 times. Let me double check here that I'm doing the right thing. Yes. Slamming against the bars of the cage, but the cage still holds. Alright, and then it's this creature's thing again. do what I'm gonna do. Okay, it is going to target. Oh, which one? It's hard to say, but let's go with Sandy Ravage, as he is brutalizing everyone. So yeah, so the thing over here casts a spell at Sandy, and it conjures up an arrow of acid that
Oh.
towards you. Oh, but critically misses. I'll use my hero point. Oh, just kidding. And then it moves a little bit. Oh no! It moves a little bit, and it's Soma's turn.
I'll try once again to use inspire inspire courage. To try to beat the stupefy twice, but after that I will just go strike the zombie gnome.
All I heard was inspire courage.
I'm going to encourage acrobatically.
Acrobatically? What does that mean? Oh, acrobatic performance. You're an acrobat, evoking wonder, and then you can roll an acrobatics check instead of a performance check. When you
Nice.
perform.
So just
Train
like
both.
Karnas, Soma's voice is gone. She can't do it any longer.
All right, let's yeah, sure. Let's use acrobatics instead of it. You still are distracted by those whispers, though.
Oh
and
my God.
And that's incredible.
Jesus Christ.
What a cold streak. Never mind, indeed.
Ugh.
That's rough.
I mean, you do have another action left. There it is. Let's see.
Courage. Come on.
You can do it.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Oh, I see. Because but it's technically still a spell. So you okay?
Gotcha.
Got it. Yep. So you still have 2 actions now. Okay. Let's see it. I mean, to be fair, I think Soma is not really giving a very inspiring performance right now, so it does make sense. And last action, or no, you moved, right? So I believe that's it. Yes, okay. Sandy Ravage.
Okay, Sandy Ravage. He's got this target in front of him that is injured, it looks like. Or, yeah, he's going to swing at this guy. He's dazzled. I don't know if that doesn't really impact my swing. But it's
No,
swing
no.
regardless.
That's a hit. Boom, you do 23 points of damage to it, badly injuring it.
I hate gnomes, so swing again.
It's another hit.
Imagine gnomes were like his like managers or stage managers that like constantly told him he was missing the mark or like missing the beat. He's like, I hate all of you so much.
You just hammer away at the thing, which doesn't really know why it deserves all that hate. But
He'll do one more at his last
okay,
map.
and
Yeah,
that's it.
okay.
Yes. Okay. And then it's that creature's turn, and it's gonna step away once, step away twice, and then take a move action to wade into the water and out into the lake. And that's its turn. How long is it dazzled? I think up to the beginning of its turn, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's over now.
Yeah, okay. And then it's your turn, Bark.
Okay. Well, I don't think I have anything to chase it down this time. Not in the water. Okay, actually, there's... Sure, okay, we'll try this, why not? I think it's a little beyond my range. Yeah, so I have to move up a little closer. I'll just stride over here. I guess so I get a good view. And then I will cast Tanglevine.
Oh. Tanglevine.
So I have to make an attack roll. And then it takes a circumstance penalty to its speeds for 1 round. It can attempt to escape against my spell DC. Okay, and it does no damage, so that's it. He's just slowed down.
Okay. And it was you had a success, so that's the degree. Okay. All right. And then it's Ottardo's turn.
Okay, that one is out of reach. I guess Ottardo would just continue attacking the one that's under the mechanism.
So that's this one here, right? So okay.
Yeah.
Wait, were you taking twice here?
So
No,
he
second.
attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the second is a miss, and he'll try a third attack.
Okay. And that's a miss.
These things
All right.
haven't been too dangerous so far.
All right. Then it's the thing's turn, and from under the mechanism, it tries to attack Souma. Once, twice, 3 times. All of them misses. And this one over here is going to try to attack Sandy Ravage. Once, twice, 3 times. All of them misses. And then over here in the cage,
Unhittable.
it rattles and rattles. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, we're getting close there, but the cage is still holding. Alright, and the spellcaster over here, I think it is going to do that again. So it's going to cast another acid arrow, trying to hit Sandy, but critically missing. Come on. So that was 2 actions, and with its third action, it's going to move closer to the water line. Soma. Power of Ever still compels you. See how compelling it is. Ooh, that's a success. And is it the one right next to you that you're targeting? Kind of hard to tell sometimes with the... Yes, okay. So let's see, that's safe. Ooh, critical failure!
Nice.
Indeed. Aristil is very compelling. Roll that damage. So 66 is the regular damage, is that right?
Nice.
So that would be 40 points, and it just is obliterated by that. The enfeeblement doesn't even come into effect. All right. Third action. Okay. And then it is Sandy.
I was going to cast it,
Okay. Oh, you say cast a
done
spell?
with your turn? Kindness, were you done with your turn? Oh, okay. Since you're on a roll, here we go. All right, so finally, I guess with that display, it is indeed quite inspiring and rallying. And then it's Sandy's turn.
All right, Sandy's gonna go for the next nearest one that hasn't been obliterated by light or otherwise, and is gonna swing down on it. That roll? No, I clicked out of it. Okay, sorry. Here we go. Oh, okay.
That's a critical hit.
I
48
really
points
like
of
playing a
damage.
barbarian so far.
And it succeeds at its save, so it manages to not get knocked prone, but it did
Okay.
take a tremendous amount of damage.
See if I knock you dead. Nope.
Nope, not this time.
Yeah,
Third
give us
one?
like one more because he's angry.
Alright. But misses. Okay, and then it is...
You got gumption.
Okay, so it's the one that is entangled up there. It's gonna try to break out of those so it can escape against your spell DC. So I'm gonna try to escape here. Question is, what would it use? Unarmed attack, acrobatics, or athletics? Unarmed attack would be the best one, I think. Does not have a statistic for unarmed attack. Oh, right. So I'm just going to use its fist attack because that would be the unarmed attack anyway. 26. Does that beat your spell DC?
That's a failure.
Oof. Okay, so since it has the attack option, attack trait, the second one would make it harder. So I think it's just going to take or eat the penalty here. 10-foot circumstance penalty. So it's down to 10 feet per action. And it's in the water, so that lowers it down to 5 feet per action. So it will use 2 actions to wade underwater, kind of like walking at the bottom of the lake at this point, fighting against those tangling vines, inching its way across. But at this point, you won't be able to see it. It would be hidden from view, and then the vines fall away. Apparently, Birke, your turn.
Yeah. Not realizing I probably should have just followed Souma's lead. But I will follow her lead now. And Vitality Lash. I think the others have this guy handled, so we'll try to hit the caster with the Vitality Lash.
All right.
Nice.
Hang on. I just need to this here.
With energy from Creation's Forge. Ooh.
Okay, so we'll try its fortitude save, but fails.
Nice.
And that'll be 16 points.
Getting
Oops, I did not mean to take that. Sorry.
well, you take no damage anyway, so it takes 16 points of damage. Third action for
then-
Bart.
I will stride. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 up here. In case that guy
Okay.
pops out again.
All right, Ottardo.
Okay, Ottardo is going to use his defensive advance to stride up to the group. And then he is going to swing at the remaining what are they called? Undead thingies. Crit miss.
Mhm.
And he's going to try again.
Nice.
That's a hit. Last one, desperate attempt. You manage to strike it and destroy it. Okay, that is your turn. Over on the other side, the creature in the cage continues to slam against the bars. Once again, coming dangerously close to breaking the whole thing wide open, but not succeeding.
Doesn't? Okay.
Okay, so then over here, this creature, what's it gonna do? It sees that the battle is still very much swinging your way, so it's casting a spell on itself and starts to walk up as if the air was solid ground and out onto the lake. So I'll say, see if it says how high the ceiling is. It must be at least 30 feet because that's how high the pillar is. Yeah, let's say it walks up 30 feet because that's definitely possible. Wait, but it has only one action left, and I think if you walk at an incline, you would go slower, so let's say it makes it up 15 feet. Alright, standing just on thin air, 15 feet above the water level. Souma.
Yeah, that's gonna be a no, sorry.
Did you say that's gonna be a no? Sorry. We'll see.
Couldn't tell if that meant your turn or the enemy's actions.
I smell a dispel magic, but I'm not sure if that's what we'll see here. Okay, casting fly. Duh.
I hero point that.
You hero point that. Okay,
roll.
that's fair. That's fair. It is a d20. So let's see if you can roll any
Literally
lower.
Just need to roll a 7. Oh my god.
Oh, 7. On the nose. Amazing. Absolutely incredible. That's string of. Oh, Sandy's gonna
I
fly.
can fly?
Oh.
Oh, hell yeah, brother. I'm coming
Please.
to get you.
Can there be these like ethereal ring ropes that just kind of slingshot Sandy? All right, Sandy, fly. Your turn.
Okay, so I have, let's see, what I think I have fleet. How fast am I? Where is your speed?
It's
30.
your speed or 20. Yeah.
Okay, so 30. Can I get to the creature in one stride with the fly? I think so, right?
Well, 30 feet.
I was here, sorry. I was one back.
You move through the air up to your fly speed, moving upward. Use the rules for moving through difficult terrain, so it counts 2. So you want to move 15 up, which is costs you 6 squares of movement. Am I doing this right?
He could move just 2 squares up, because then it would be within his reach. It would be just
Yeah.
above him.
So you're moving diagonally, which means the first one. This is 10 feet of movement, and now you're 5 feet up. And then this is 20 feet of movement, and now you're 10 feet up, which puts you in reach of the creature just above
Okay.
you.
Okay. I think he's just gonna. Now that he's flying, I don't think he thinks to like grapple it. I think he's just gonna swing on it. He like if he was more strategic, he might think. Yeah, I think he's just gonna swing. He's just gonna swing. Here's the first strike. Oh, no more hero points to have.
Probably the first time you're flying, so no
Yeah,
one can
yeah,
blame
he's
you.
he's a little freaked out. Okay, but
But
he does have the second one.
Second one lands. And you bash the thing for 25 points. But it stands solid on the air, so it does not fall down or anything like that. Okay, so then the one in the water that you can barely see, you can just kind of see the water a little bit disturbed as it continues on. So that's 10 feet, 20, 30, 40. And then over on the far side, well, nope, it is through the fog and everything. I guess Sandy, you're above the fog at this point, because you're also 10 feet up. No, I guess at 10 feet you're still in the fog, so never mind.
Okay.
Basically, then I should make this creature undetected for you because it's too far away for you to see anything. All right, Bark, your turn.
Well, I guess I lost sight of the other guy, so, I will, try to stop this guy from getting away. Gonna come a little closer. And then I'm going to cast Tether.
Okay.
You have so many control spells. I like it.
Yeah, pretty amazing. So, you use magical chains, binds, or other tethers to bind your target to you. The creature can still try to escape. And so let's see the reflex save. It just succeeds. So the target takes a 5-foot circumstance penalty to its speed as long as it's within 30 feet of you. Okay.
Well, okay, that's not quite what I'd hoped for, but that will be my turn. 3 actions.
Okay. Ottardo.
I don't think Ottardo can reach the creature, but he will start moving. That's 20, and then 20. I guess he'll move there and just. Can he see the thing now? There?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. So everything beyond 30 feet is concealed, and visibility ends at 90 feet. So it should be concealed for you, I guess.
Okay, well, he'll just move to the absolute edge of the.
Yeah, so then it is no longer concealed even. Yeah, so you see it climbing up the wall, the cliff wall, trying to get to what looks like a little alcove in the natural stone cavern.
Okay. He'll yell that out to the others. Climb in.
Climbing. That's your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Over on the beach, the skeletal hulk continues to slam against the cage. But there it is! Yes! It needed that. It breaks open the cage, smashes the little weird fibrous wood that was kind of like wedged through multiple rings that kept the gate closed, and it joins the fun. All right, let's see. How can I get this to come to the surface here? I guess I can. So let's see. It lets out a massive roar as it smashes what's left of the cage. And then let's see. It strikes and makes a claw strike. Yes. Oh no, actually, it did use 3 actions to break free. So I guess at this point, all it can do is break free. Because that was its third action. And it roars a little bit. Clearly a very, very formidable opponent.
Oh boy.
The-
Oh boy.
The spellcaster over here that's tethered to Bark, so it's because it succeeded, it's just a -5 speed, right? That's what we...
Yeah, until it gets beyond 30 feet from me, and then it's fine.
Okay, so it can move over air just like it was solid ground, so it should be able to step away from Sandy. And... it's gonna cast Bark Skin on itself, which I'm sure has a different name now. And it doesn't have an effect? Really? That can't be true. It doesn't have a condition. What is the new name for Bark Skin?
It's Oaken Resilience.
Oaken, yeah.
Oaken Resilience. Yeah, spell effect, Oaken Resilience. There it is. Okay, so it casts that on itself, and it stepped, so that's its turn. Souma. Try to Vitality Lash the Hulk. Alright, let's see. "30 feet is within range. You succeed at resisting the whispers." Let's see, it's fortitude save. It succeeds. So it's just halved damage.
Whoa, nice roll.
Well,
Hell
a
yeah.
very good roll, and it takes 14 points of damage, which makes it barely injured and very angry.
I run away.
Is that your turn? Is that your turn? Carnus, is that your turn?
I run away.
Oh, you run away. Okay, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Sandy, you hear the cracking sound. You know, the cage completely shattering over there. You see it over your shoulder, but there's also that thing in front of you that's trying to get away.
Oh, it's the belt match next. Here we go. He'll step. Can he step to get to this creature, or he'll stride? I mean, either way, I guess. Yeah.
Well, you have you flying, so you need to take 1 action to fly.
Okay.
But I do believe that. I mean, can you
can't-
step when you have a
can't
fly
step
speed?
using your fly speed.
Okay,
can or
but
you
can I
cannot?
stride? I can just stride normally, right? Or like move normally.
Yes.
So essentially, I have 2 strikes. Is, I guess what I'm getting at. Here we go.
Yeah, you
Strike
just need
once.
to take at least. Yeah, you just need to take at least 1 action for flying, even for hovering in place. So that's okay. All right, 32 points. You slam 26 points of damage. A little bit of it gets softened by the Oaken Resilience, but that's
Okay. Okay. And I'll try one more time.
Oh no! Let's see that
boy.
damage.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
indeed. 50 points of damage. Yeah, you hit it square in the head. And for a second there, you thought it would fall down, but it
Supposed to
doesn't.
go down. It's the gold medal match. Whatever it's
40
called.
fails. Oh, okay. So, man, air
Yeah,
walking
prone
and
and
getting
fly. Yeah.
because it's not flying. It is just treating the air as if it was solid ground. So I think that it's probably just kind of be off balance. It'll fall down onto the air, basically.
Okay.
I'll say it's kind of off kilter. It'll have to spend an action to regain its stance, which has the same effect as getting up from prone. So we'll go with that. Okay, so then we have that thing over there. Ottardo, you see it climb up the rest of the wall, and then you can hear it call out in that strange language that you don't understand. And let's see what happens next. Man, this is a long encounter, huh? I forgot here. Okay, well, perfect timing. So it moves up there. It calls out in that language, and then apparently satisfied, it jumps back into the lake and just treads water. And then
Well, that
another
doesn't sound
thing.
good.
No, it does not. Because another thing comes shambling from the darkness of that little recess at the top of the cliff. And
boy.
it looks somewhat similar to the gaunt, desiccated shapes of those annoying gnomes that you were fighting. But this one looks much more corrupt and twisted and disturbing, even at a distance. You can see it. It's a horrifically twisted, as though it's locked in a convulsion of agony and terror as it just keeps shambling forward. Its desiccated and hairless flesh bearing an otherworldly pearlescent sheen, strung taut across a malformed skeleton that reduces its gait to a slow shamble. This is what it looks like.
What is that?
Yeah, indeed. What is that? And it comes shambling out of that little alcove at a speed of 20 and just kind of like tumbles over the edge of the cliff, belly flopping into the water, and then spending another action to slowly make its way forward underneath this the surface of the water. You can just see the sort of the little wave at the top telling you that there's something moving in there. But that is that. That was its turn. Bark. So I'll say it's essentially hidden for all intents and purposes by the water. Bark, your turn.
Yeah, Bark didn't really see any of that happen, I don't think.
No.
So he heard the call, but he doesn't know what that means. So yeah, I guess this big monster thing is here, and he looks around. Everyone else is kind of spread out. He's like, well, I guess it's up to me. And he's gonna stride forward. What's it? 5, 10, 15, 20. 25. He's gonna get like right up on top of this thing, basically. And then I've been debating which of these to use. But he's gonna cast. Actually, I suppose the smarter play, since I don't know what its reaches is, he would technically cast first and then move. But he's going to cast Mantle of the Unwavering Heart, selecting Evergreen Vitality, and I think we're going to do Towering Trunk. So he's going to grow to large.
Cool.
And he's going to gain fast healing.
What a cool spell.
And it's going to block the way as vines and branches envelop him.
So can you apply the effect to...
I have no idea what happens if I apply the effect, because there's like 4 different things that it could be.
Right.
Usually you get a little pop-up to choose which one.
I did not.
Ah.
I mean, I can edit it, but I don't think it's actually doing anything to my character, so...
Yeah, no. No, it doesn't seem to let you do that. I think I can just make you large, can I? Can I just
Yeah, you
edit
can-
your token? Is that how that would work?
You could just edit the token, yeah. And I do get clumsy 1, so I'll add that. I don't think fast healing is a thing I can add, so I'll just keep that in mind.
Can I just put an enlarge spell effect on you? Would that be the same as...
I don't know, would it?
Let's see. Oops, I
Oh,
enlarged the
you
wrong
got a
one.
stick!
Big soft link, a big stick.
Yes. So that would make you clumsy 1, but also large. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's the same thing.
Okay, so I'll
You,
get rid of the
you might want to. You might just have to watch the damage thing and the grab ability and stuff. That's okay. So you give yourself fast healing ability and make yourself large, and I think that's your turn.
Yeah, I don't know how Stick got sickened.
Huge pug.
Huge pug indeed. Sorry, I am confused.
Oh, because
here.
the overwhelming perfume effect went on somehow, which is one of the 4 abilities that is listed here. So clearly, it's doing something.
Okay, well we're gonna remove that, I guess, because you didn't choose that, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Ottardo, your turn.
Alright, well, Ottardo can't reach the thing that's underwater, so I think he'll just stride towards Bark to assist him. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 3, 4, and oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
the
crit-
size wasn't
oh, okay.
right. This is the right size.
Oh, okay. Oh well, in that case, in that case, when he's here, he'll use his defensive advance, so that he'll be able to stride up, strike, and raise his shield.
All right.
And
You
that's his turn.
Somehow you missed the giant thing. Okay, so but that is now a different creature, so I have to make sure that it's actually in the running, and then move it to the right initiative where it was before. Okay. All right.
Would
it's
the
the
24 been? Would the 24 have been a hit?
No. All right. So the spellcaster that Sandy is fighting is gonna, right itself, basically getting up from prone. So I think that gives you a reactive strike.
Okay. Oh, you've been in the air? Okay.
Yeah, because like I said, since it's treating air like solid ground, so I think it makes sense that it can also be sort of off kilter. So I'll say
I won't
that
argue
it's-
with you. I won't argue with you.
All right, that's a hit.
All right.
22 points of damage. It's not enough to kill it, so it
Okay.
will.
Okay.
It will move back 1, 2, 3, and then cast a spell at you, which is it'll produce flame with 2 actions. So a small ball of flame appears in its palm, and then it lashes out with it at range. Trying to toss it at you, it strikes true
Alright.
for 5d4, so 15 points of fire damage. But it wasn't a crit, so it's no persistent damage. And you take 9 points of that. Okay. Alright, and then it's the giant creature's turn. Yes! So it completely shattered the cage that it was squeezed into, and it is mad as hell. And what's it gonna do? It's going to swipe broadly as it lashes out, making 2 strikes with its claws against Bark and Ottardo. So let's start with Bark. Full attack bonus. That's a hit for 15 points of damage. And then
Ottardo
its
uses
strike.
a reaction.
Okay.
That's 11 points of resistance.
Nice.
All right. 4 points come through. You strike back at the thing for 13 points of damage.
Amazing.
But it follows up still at full attack bonus, and well, for various, it's a crit miss. So that's disappointing. But then after this, the penalty increases. So now it should be at a -10 for the third attack, if I understand correctly. Yes. But that's what it's gonna do, and it's gonna try to strike Bark, having some instinctual feeling that he might be easier to hit. But that is a miss, I think, right? 22?
Yeah.
Didn't target you. Yeah, but that's a miss. Souma, your turn. Yeah, let's see.
I'm going to try to slow him. It either breaks the combat completely or will do nothing.
All right, let's see.
Anthony, if the effect is not useful, could you drop it, because it just reapplies the second all the time?
That seems to be the only thing it's doing, right?
I don't know if it's applying something on your.
I don't think so. Yeah, because the enlarged and the fast healing is not an effect you can add, so.
Are those
Alright,
only? Yeah, those are only. Okay.
Soma is still shaking her head, hitting her temples as she stumbles forward, and then it's Sandy's turn.
Harness is that the worst luck. Oh. Sandy. Oh, I'm debating whether Sandy would keep going after this little guy or come back towards the fray with this huge beast. I think he's enraged enough that he wants to kill this other thing first. So, could he get there in one stride action?
Where did you start?
He was right here.
Yeah, so you could fly horizontally. Yep, that's one action.
Okay. And then he will try and kill this thing, hopefully.
Okay. Ooh, that's a hit. Yeah, and you knock it out of the air and it goes splash. So it gets swallowed by the thick fog, and then you hear it splash as it hits the lake.
Amazing. And so he doesn't, I don't even think, probably especially in his rage, and he doesn't even care if he knows that thing. He wants to get as close as he can to the bulking giant thing in the corner. So where can he get closest to with flying?
You have a speed of 20, so or no, is that right? Fly
30.
speed should be because your regular speed is 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, my regular speed is 30. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can move 30 feet.
Okay, so oops. Is that how long is that? That's 25? Is that right? Sorry, let me do that again.
Yeah, a little further.
What is I did not mean to measure freaking aura.
I think that is 30.
It is
Yeah.
30 feet. Okay, yeah.
Okay, okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. Okay. There is that single thing still splashing about. One action, 2 actions.
Oh,
You
God,
hear
that's-
more. You hear more howling in the distance. Hang on here.
It's probably not bad, don't worry.
Flash. Okay. And then two. Soma, right next to you, out of the corner of your eye, you notice a little wave making its way through the water, and then a creature pulls itself up onto the beach. And once again, just for shock value, this is what it looks like. You know, the hair kind of slick in its face, barely resembling the gnomes you were fighting, but clearly a very different breed. And it comes up and just lets out this moaning sigh. And as it moves. Let's see. So many things. Yeah, and it moves up right next to you, and then kind of just starts trying to grab you with its fist. Oh, sorry, should have targeted you, but a 35 I would assume is a hit. So it does 15 points of damage to you. Let's see if anything's riding on that. No, it is not. Except for you're alive. And then it's Spark's turn.
Yeah, I think Bark is still mostly concerned with just tanking. So he is going to drop. Let's see if this provokes. I don't know if it will. Protector tree right here. And it is 5th level casting, so it has 50 hit points.
Okay. Alright, so the tree grows out of the dock boards. I missed where you planted
Yeah,
it.
right in front of Ottardo here.
Okay. Is there anything we can put there? No, there's no. Does it have an aura?
No, it's just
Just-
creatures adjacent to it or
Just-
protected.
okay. Let's just put something here then. There we go. There's a tree. Beautiful. High def.
And I will use my last action to raise a shield.
Okay. Ottardo.
With Sandy and Bark here, Ottardo feels that the priority would be to go and help out Soma, so he will stride over to the creature. It has Soma grappled, right?
No, not grappled.
What did it try?
I just punched her.
Oh, that was okay. All right. Well, he is going to attempt to trip the creature.
Okay, as you do that, the creature glances at you, and I need you to do a fortitude save.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Of course. Aha! You lose your balance and fall prone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mash onto the board.
Well, he falls prone, but he's going to glance back at the creature. Let's see if this works. Does this work? Oh, maybe I have to do it this way. I'm not sure that worked, but we'll see.
Trying to smite? I'm not sure I understand what's going on.
Yeah, so basically he uses smite on the creature, which
Okay.
comes into effect when he manages to strike it. So
Okay.
that is done. Well, for his last action, he is going to try to use his shield.
Wait, but isn't smite an action too? So you move to...
Oh yes, the move. You're right. The move.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
That-
Where are we? Okay. Okay. The Hulk. The skeletal Hulk. is going to. I mean, Sandy, you're 10 feet up, but the thing is so large that you're still
Yep.
technically adjacent. So it is going to swipe broadly once more. And we'll target first Sandy. That's a hit for 13 points of damage.
Okay.
So the tree will interpose its branches because I believe
Oh.
he's adjacent to it. Is he adjacent to it?
It's a medium
Yeah.
tree, so it is a 5-foot
Oh yeah, it's
cube.
high that pink circle. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And he's 10 feet up. So, wait.
What does that
so
do?
you have 5, 10. No, he's no longer adjacent. Because he's 10 feet
Oh,
up.
okay.
Okay, never mind then.
Alright, so that was the first one. The second swipe goes at Bard. Ooh.
Can he do that? Because we're not adjacent to each other.
It's adjacent to him.
Oh, against two adjacent foes. Oh, okay. I thought it meant that the two foes had to be adjacent. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess now that you say that, you might be right. Because it says two adjacent foes, both of whom are within its reach. How would they not be within its reach if it's adjacent to him or to it?
Yeah, I guess it's sort of kind of cleave and all of those.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, so I'll take the penalty on that then, which is still a critical hit. No, it's not a critical hit then. It is actually where am I? 36, so that would make it 31, so it would be a regular hit. So you can take half of that damage.
Okay, I will. The protector tree will interpose its branches. It just does it automatically. So how much damage was
Half
should
of
it
this?
be?
13.
13. Okay, so the tree takes 13.
Nice.
It strikes at the tree instead. And then it lashes out one last time at Bark, but misses. Souma.
She will try to compel it.
Let's see if it compels once more.
Yes.
Okay, first important one. Fortitude save succeeds, so it takes half damage. You roll, there it is. And it takes 10 points of damage still.
And then I start
Third action. And that's a miss. Sandy.
Okay. Andy, yeah, he's gonna need to move 5 feet closer. You within reach, but then he's gonna swing on the thing twice.
If he drops down 5 feet as well, he'll be next to the protector tree.
He will do that as well then, so he'll go down 5 feet.
Alright.
I assume he would instinctively know that this tree is a good thing, not a bad thing, as he saw it deflect damage, so he will do that.
Yeah. That's a hit. 24 points of damage, which go straight through any potential resistances. I see you smash some of its bones.
Pretty
but then
cool.
the second attack misses. I believe you could drop as a free action when you're flying, so you do. Is that true? You can move straight down 10 feet for every 5 feet of movement. Oh no, it's not a free action. So right, so you still have to spend that action to drop down. Okay. Okay. What's going on here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see over on the dock, that creature pulling itself out onto the boards, or a creature, because it's covered in the concealment of the fog for those of you who are too far away, but you see a shape pulling itself onto the dock that resembles one of these creatures. And then it is the strange, powerful undead creature's turn over here. So what is it gonna do? Well, Ottardo, you say you were kind of like glancing at it. You were marking it for your smite. So what it's going to do is it's gonna kind of stagger back a step or two, and then it's gonna lock its eyes on you, maybe like gently brushing those streaky hair aside so you can see its eyes fully. And it spends 2 actions on this, just staring at you, Ottardo. I'm gonna need you to make a
Okay.
fortitude save.
All right.
God damn it.
Is this a hostile action?
Yes.
Okay,
Why?
because it extends the smite.
Oh, okay. All right, so you crit succeed, of course. So you don't. I don't know. Maybe you notice that its eyes are sad and tortured, but you don't feel any effect on yourself. Bark.
Defense or offense? I think we'll try going on offense now, see how this goes. I have, thanks to the Mantle of the Unwavering Heart and my Towering Trunk feature, I can now make some Grasping Branch attacks. They count as unarmed attacks, so I'm just going to use my jaw for that.
All right.
That's not a good roll.
Yeah. Hard bones to chomp down on.
We'll try one more just for kicks. No, so not a great roll. And then I will just raise my shield.
All right, and it's Ottardo's turn.
All right, Ottardo is going to stand up, and then he will try to strike the creature, miss it, and then try again.
And hang on, it does use its reaction to glance at you, so I'll need a fortitude save. She succeed once again. And you struck 2 for 17 points of damage. Okay. Wait, 27? Oh, right, because it's super effective. Yeah, it seems to be very receptive to this kind of attack. And I believe that's your turn.
Yep.
Hang on, did I miss something with the reach of this creature? What's its reach? No, just 10 feet, even though it's huge. Okay. Alright. Where are we? Okay, Ottardo, right next to you, there's a disturbance in the water, and another one of these creatures pulls itself onto the dock and quickly brings into action, trying to punch you. Punch. Ooh, actually hitting for 12 points of damage.
Well, no shield to save Ottardo.
Ah. Finally. Let me get all the visibility stuff right here. Okay, so it's in combat now. All right. And a third one
Oh no.
pulled itself out onto the beach, but doesn't have an action left to actually attack this turn. Okay, the skeletal Hulk over here. What's it gonna do? Okay, so it's feeling kind of boxed in, having smashed the crate, but still being confined in some way. So what it's gonna do is it kind of like takes just a half a step back and then rushes forward, kind of slamming itself into Bark, making a claw strike, using its massive rush ability. So that's a hit, causing 21 points of damage.
Which the tree will take.
All of it?
Yep. It's got 50 hit points.
Nice.
So now, if the strike hits, the Hulk automatically pushes the target 10 feet. So does that... I guess it... the tree is rooted, right?
The tree is rooted. I mean, I don't... Let me double check the wording of the spell. It might just eat the damage, but not come into play for other effects. Yeah, it just says that the tree interposes its branches and takes the damage first, so I would assume any other effects would still go through.
Yeah, but I was always working under the assumption that there's no damage, but I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, let's roll with so it would normally push you 10 feet, so let's just have it. So we'll go it pushes you 5 feet back because the tree took most of the momentum. And then with its third action, it'll follow up, or it'll just kind of swat at Sandy with a -5 to its attack. Okay, and that's a miss. All right. Soma, your turn.
Well, it's becoming quite a predicament.
Ooh. Oh man.
Do you have a hero point?
No, I think there's none left.
Unlikely.
I had one.
Oh.
Third action.
I stabbed it.
Okay. I mean, as frustrating as all of those stupefied rolls are, but I like the sword and spell style. Okay, that's a miss. And it is Sandy's turn.
Okay, Sandy's gonna continue
Hang
to
on.
try. Oh,
Hang on. Sandy, as you start your turn, maybe you're wondering what all the commotion is on the other side of the dock, and
Oh,
you
no.
catch a glance of one of the creatures. So you got to give me this fortitude save.
Okay, come on. Okay.
Okay, you're fine.
I deal with distractions all the time. People are always acting up in the audience. I don't give a shit. Looking at this Hulk.
That's a hit. 21 points of damage, and that just smash its bones, and it's, where the disjointed bones come together, you just smash those bindings, and then you miss with your second attack. And the third attack would have to be flying, or you drop down on the
I think
dock.
he'll drop down for the last one because he wants to maybe. He's seeing all these other creatures like overwhelmed, or not overwhelmed, but they're ganging up on Soma, and yeah, so he'll drop for his last one.
All right, and then over here, the final thing comes slowly but deliberately, striding down the dock once more, moving over here, and attacking Sandy, trying to push you into the water. So that's a shove. Come on, where is it? Shove. As I have you targeted, I have the right selected, and I fail by quite a bit, but not critically. Okay, over on this side of the battle, the creature down here focuses its gaze onto Soma. And Soma, you make eye contact. Give me that fortitude save. You fail, which means you are doomed. One.
No.
And
Doom's is awful.
drained. As you just feel like you're staring into the abyss, and it consumes you. It just touches your soul. You know, all those whispers in your head start to tell you stories of your doom, and it's not great. All right, and then the creature steps back a little bit for its third action, and it's Bark's turn. Bark, maybe you too notice that there's quite the ruckus going on. Glance over your shoulder and catch the eye of one of these things. Give me a fortitude save. And, but I guess you look away in time. Okay, you take your turn.
Okay. Bark is going to step up, get back in place, keep holding that line. He's going to, realizing that there's an awful lot of pushing and shoving going on in this fight, he is going to activate his living leaf weave armor, which has an elixir of life inserted into it, which once he triggers the elixir, it causes the armor to begin to grow, and it extends roots and vines, which grant me an item bonus to athletics checks to grapple, to fortitude DC to resist grapple, disarm, shove attempts, blah blah, reflex DCs against trip. Lasts for 3 rounds.
Yeah, very interesting that it consumes the elixir of life for that too. Okay, cool. So what kind of action is that?
That is a interact action.
Okay, so you stepped, you interact. What's your third?
My third is going to be to... I don't think offense is working very well, so I'm going to use an envision action to activate my sapling shield, which turns from a tiny little sapling shield to a great big oak shield, which is effectively a tower shield.
Nice.
And I'm just gonna plant it between me and this creature.
Wow, cool. All right. Ottardo, maybe at this point you stare back defiantly whenever you catch their gaze, but you still need to do that fortitude save. And it's your turn.
Ottardo is going to stride up and try to keep up with the creature that stepped away.
Mm-hmm.
And then he will attempt to... Actually, he'll make that a defensive advance. And he'll attempt to strike it.
Okay. Right, you bash into it for 28 points of damage with your
And-
righteous smite.
And then he will attempt to strike it again.
And that's another hit for another 23. All right. Okay. This creature over here lets its gaze wander around the platform, looking for any takers. And let's say a Sandy, Bark, and Soma, and Ottardo. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Soma, you managed to look at just the wrong time, and you have to do another fortitude save. That's bad. That's very bad. That's very, very bad.
Oh my god, no.
Alright, so... multiple exposures can increase a creature's drain condition to a maximum of 4, so you are drained 4. Not 6, you should be drained 4. And doomed. Okay, but I don't think it increases any doom condition. Yeah, okay, but it doesn't increase your doomed condition. Okay. So you just remain doomed 1. That was 2 actions, and I guess with its 3rd action, it's just gonna emote. So then we have that last one here. I guess it's kind of doing a similar thing. It lets its gaze wander, and we'll do the same order. Now, Sandy, maybe hearing Souma groan, you look over to see what's going on at just the wrong time to meet the gaze of one of these creatures. Give me that fortitude save. And you fail, so you are also doomed and you feel drained 2. And then it has an action left which it uses to target Souma and tries to punch her, but misses. And I don't think you realize how lucky you are that that's how it went. The skeletal hunk over on this side, it keeps swatting at Sandy with its claw, missing once, missing twice, and then with its 3rd action, it tries to punch. Oh, look at that! It manages to hit Birke somehow.
Yeah, my AC is reduced right now, but that's okay.
Right, and does 24 points of damage.
Most of that will be absorbed by the tree. The remainder, hang on, let me figure out how much. 33, so 17. So I'll take 7 points of that.
Okay, and the tree is gone.
Tree's gone.
Okay. All right. Souma, your turn.
So
You step away. Hang on. As you start your turn, you once again catch a gaze by one of them, a glance. And your fortitude save. That's a success. Okay, you can take your turn normally, so you move.
okay, I will try to get rid of the drain condition.
Okay, how does that work? You would have to take a full night's rest. You have any other ability that can help you? Aha! You send a surge of healing energy to restore the target's body. Attempt to counter attack effective choice imposing one of these conditions. There's and on heightened, it adds drained and slowed. Okay, so that's just your flat check. Counteracts the effect, so I'm gonna check its DC, and you can roll your counteract check.
Pretty good.
29 is pretty good. I would think that it's probably gonna be the 42 DC. So yeah, you're good. You're good. You counteracted successfully. So does it remove all of it? If it didn't counteract, well, you would have its counteract. I guess it counteracts the effect, so the effect is gone, right? The success, if its counteract rank is 5 or less. Counteracting. I need to do some research on how exactly that's supposed to play out, because monster abilities don't really usually have ranks and stuff. It's
Which is
very good.
yeah.
But I think it's fine. I think it removes the drain condition for you, and I would say it removes it entirely. You're still doomed though.
I think you calculate the rank as if it were like a cantrip.
So what does that mean?
So it's like level divided by 2 plus 1 or the other way around.
But it doesn't have a level.
No,
That's
of the
thing.
creature.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll find out. I'm sure it's high enough. So for now, we'll just remove the drained, but you're still doomed. You have a third action? No, you moved. Okay. So
do I
Sandy.
take my back or it's
Okay, so Sandy has this little guy that came up behind him. He's gonna swing on him first. Doesn't like people interrupting his cage match 1v1, so he's gonna swing on this dude. Let's see, it'll hit.
And you swiftly dispatch this one. It's gone.
You weren't supposed to be here. Then I'll turn around and swing on the big dude.
Mm-hmm.
With the map.
Misses.
Moving wouldn't necessarily help anyone, so I think I'll swing in.
No, Karnas, it explicitly says when you remove the condition, it doesn't take it back. And that's a critical hit.
Oh, I didn't
Nice.
crit.
Let's see that critical 42 points of damage. Wow, yeah, you just
Yeah,
kind of
it's-
smash through the bone structure. There's whole parts of its frame come tumbling down, and it's basically just two swinging claws and a torso at this point. But that's your turn.
Yep.
Okay, over here. What is going on? Yeah, I think it once again just lets its gaze wander. Who's in range? Birke, Ottardo, Souma, you're in range, so we'll do a D3 in that order. Birke, Souma, Ottardo. Nope, that's the wrong slash. Birke, Souma, Ottardo. Okay, Ottardo, give me that fortitude save. Show me that crit success. Oh! You fail, so you feel doomed and drained. And then it has one action left, which it uses to punch you, just to add insult to injury. Nope, but it misses. Birke, your turn.
Bark's going to use an action to command Stick to grab one of those elixirs and hustle it over to Souma. And then it can administer it. So I will roll one of my elixirs. Will it not post? Okay, use. There we go. So 30 points of healing to Souma.
Nice.
Very nice.
And then I'm going to use an action to raise the tower shield, which I didn't get to do last time.
I also need you to do this fortitude save as you start your turn. Sorry, I keep forgetting those. Okay,
Nice.
yeah.
All right. So I will raise the tower shield, and then I will use my final action to take cover behind it.
Very nice. And Ottardo.
Okay.
There's your crit success. Okay, keep going.
Nice.
So Souma still looks in bad shape, so Ottardo is going to turn around and lay a hand on her. And then he is going to attempt to strike that same creature.
And you hit
Very
it
nice.
for 24 points, but you don't bring it down.
And he'll try again.
And misses. Okay. All right. This one over here has everyone in reach, so we're gonna go with a D4, starting at Sandy. That's Ottardo once again. Give me this fortitude save, please. Nope, that was the wrong one, but 28 is still enough for a success, which in your case means crit success. Right, it's just as long as you succeed, it becomes a crit success.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Alright, so that was 2 of its actions, and with its third action, I think it's going to close in on Souma. They all are kind of sensing Souma is close, or was close. I guess she is the closest at this point. And then they are all going to start ganging up on her. So this one moves over there and then just starts punching her. 1. Where is it? Strike. Missing. And 2. That's a hit. For 11
Ottardo's
points of
going to
damage.
use his reaction here.
Mm-hmm.
So no damage.
And instead you strike the creature. For 10. Does it?
It does, from the reaction.
But, I mean, the smite, don't you designate a target for your smiting?
So it's a different thing. The reaction applies persistent damage, and the smite just
Oh.
does extra damage to one specific target.
Very nice.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, so it should not have done that. Okay, so we have the skeletal hug over here, which is just kept together by rage and duct tape, and it's going to target
I think
Andy.
maybe you need to roll the recovery for the thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't actually take that damage. Not recovery. Okay, fails. Alright, so now it's going to target Sandy, striking once. Ooh!
Oh, yep.
We're gonna go out with a bang. And it's
Oh.
46 points of damage. Second attack
kill me.
misses. Third attack misses as well. So Sandy is getting ravaged to Souma.
Sandy's getting ravaged. Nice.
Yes, that's a good idea.
The next time, this time I will try to another the rest still compels you.
I did not hear that, but I can see that you're targeting the creature. Okay, let's see the flat check.
Yes.
Success! And here's the fortitude save. It is a success, but we will still see some damage here. Taking half of this, which is 12. Alright. Believe that's your turn, because averting your gaze is an action. Sandy, I will need a fortitude save from you.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, just barely.
Dude.
Okay, alright. Yep, keep
He's
on.
gonna try to kill this big dude.
Okay, let's see.
Come on.
That's a hit. 19 points of damage, and you basically just body slam the thing, smashing what's left of its jury-rigged frame, and it comes crashing down, dropping into the lake
Right.
in a shower of bones.
Amazing. He will, after body slamming it, he quickly bounces off the ropes that he body slammed it onto and strides over and will swing with the map on this one. That's
Very
the
nice.
harm.
And
Missed
misses
it.
barely, but closely. Okay, so now we have this one over here. Steps forward, targets Souma. Souma, you just see. I mean, you're trying to avert your gaze, but I guess you're kind of like looking through your hands. All three of them drawn to you. You really feel the weight of being doomed. The whispers in your head. This is just a nightmare. And it takes a step forward, and then it has one action left to hit. There we go. That's 18 points of damage. And a second action to hit is a critical miss. And then it's Bark's turn.
Okay. I'm going to stride. That's all the movement I have. I'm going to order a stick to administer another potion to Souma. which now that we're all in reach, it should be able to do easily with its actions. So I will roll another one of those.
Nice.
Let's see, another elixir, another 31 points back to Souma.
Ooh. Amazing.
And then third action, I will just raise a shield.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ottardo.
Ottardo will focus on the creature that's already. Oops, I should just reapply the smite on it because it did use hostile actions.
Sure did.
I
Against
just
your
did
allies count too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not an action, but the smite is still ongoing. Yeah, he will try to smash it.
It's a hit. And that's enough. No, not quite.
Ah.
And
And then Ottardo's going to miss, and then he will desperately swing once more and miss.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, they just single-mindedly focusing their efforts on Souma as if they're trying to pull her down into their horrible existence as well, striking out once, twice, striking her for 18 points of damage, and the third attack that misses.
A reaction from Ottardo. Let me see which one that was. This one.
Souma?
It's a miss. Oops, I made Souma disappear. Here we go.
Yeah.
And then we have another one here, also just drawn to Souma.
So
Trying
Souma would get the resistance there. I don't know if you took it into account.
It's 11? Or how much is it?
Yeah. 11.
Alright, the other one also missing all of its strikes, and then it'll take the persistent damage here before we move on. Take that damage, roll the recovery check, and it succeeds at that. Okay, so now it's Soma's turn.
Yeah, she'll have her gaze and
Okay. Yep.
while healing just only die, she'll stab it with this area.
Okay, that's a... Oh, but there's one that is a hit. 10 points of damage is enough to kind of blindly swing at the thing and land a lucky blow, killing it. And then it's Sandy's turn.
Okay. Sandy is gonna keep striking at the one he's been swinging at. He's not. Yeah. First one.
That's a
Nice.
hit. Rushing it for 11 points.
Again,
you
from
really
map.
fired.
What
Another hit.
happened?
Ooh.
We're 19.
That'll swing one last time with the third. Yeah, okay.
Hammer away at it. Bark.
Timber.
Yes. There we go. All right, I'll start with the where. Does
Well,
it matter?
I imagine he orders stick out of the way first.
Yes, he probably would. Yeah. Okay, so let's do the reflex.
Ugh.
Oh, that's crit and a fail. So let's see that damage.
10, oh, just 10 for the one that failed.
Okay,
Wow.
and it's
Oh,
only
those
regular.
ones.
Yeah. Third action. Oh, that is ordering him out of the way.
Stick.
Okay.
Actually, Stick can move on his own when I don't order him.
Right,
So
yeah.
I'll just raise shield.
Okay. Ottardo.
Okay, Ottardo is going to smite the one that he flanks with the bark,
Mm-hmm.
and then he is going to try to strike it. Ooh, crit miss.
Oh, and followed by a crit
Nice.
hit. Let's see that damage. 40 points of damage.
Yeah,
Turns on the
absolutely.
screen. Badly injured. I believe that's your turn?
Yep.
Okay, so the creature steps out of the flanking and then uses 2 actions to gaze at Bark. So Bark, I'm going to need you to make a fortitude save here.
Oh, I'll re-roll that with my hero point.
That's good timing. Regular
You
Yeah,
also
that's-
success.
rolling from sick.
What's that?
Oh,
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 you
you
rolled
rolled
for
it.
the snake? Yeah.
oh, it's the that is the modifier though.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So a success still makes you drained 1 though. And then the other thing comes up, also steps away. I would think that stick is not can share a space, right? That's not a really an
Yeah,
obstacle.
he's tiny. He's tiny.
Yeah. And that one also uses 2 actions to stare at Bark.
Jeez. Okay.
Mhm.
Just because he's a dog, you don't have to stare at him.
Hang on. Let me
What are you
look
looking
drained.
at?
Where's drained? Oh, it's already on. Okay.
Yeah. And you succeed. Multiple increased drain condition, so you are now drained 2. Souma. The Stag Lord compels you. Alright, let's see. Okay, targeting this one up there. But
Oh!
failing your check.
Oh
on-
my gosh.
What's your third action? Oh, you averted your gaze. Okay. And Sandy.
Okay.
Your turn.
Sandy will step and swing twice on this one here.
Okay. Missing.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Twice. Bark.
Dude. Let's see. Can't really get a good line. Injured. I'm going to recover hit points first because I keep. What is my maximum now? 69. Okay, so I'm up to my maximum. I'm going to. I guess I'm just going to hit him with a vitality lash.
Okay.
The one next to me.
Which one? The top or bottom? Oh, bottom. Okay. That's a failure.
20 points.
20 points of vitality damage. Injure the creature.
And last action, since it's. Is that fortitude save a visual thing?
Yes.
Then I will also avert gaze, since we have drawn
Okay.
an
Ottardo.
Ottardo will strike the creature up north.
Hit. 13 points of damage. Running to 23.
And then he
Mhm.
crit misses. And I think for his last action, well, the shield hasn't really been useful. He'll try to swing again.
That's a miss. Okay. Alright, the creature's turn. The first one. Now they're very interested in Sandy, maybe sensing that Sandy is severely injured here, trying to slam its fist into his face, but missing all 3. And then the one down here doesn't seem to have the strategic acumen to flank, so it's just gonna shamble on forward and then attack once and twice, missing all of those attacks. And I think what I'm gonna say is that They have nothing left in terms of resources. They've put pretty much all the effects they can put on you. So I'm going to say it'll take you maybe another round or two, but eventually you would mop them up. So I'll just call it here.
Okay.
And you strike them down eventually. I would think that Ottardo probably is the one taking the last blows, smiting the last remaining one of them down. And the cavern, that giant cavern with the big, smelly, fetid lake, falls very silent, and you catch your breath. That was more than
Very
you thought
long.
it would be
Yeah.
when you approached those four things. And it all started with Ottardo being like, "Hey there,
Let's talk to these
come on,
gnomes.
let's talk to these gnomes." Exactly. That's 210 XP for everyone.
Whoa.
Oof.
It was an extreme encounter, all things. I mean, it was more of a series of encounters, but still, it's 210 XP that you have well deserved. Yeah, incredible. All right, I will end the encounter here, and I will take us back to the landing page, and we'll pick it up from here next time.
All right.
That was fun, though. That was a hell of a combat.